The TM Light Series returns to the Sonoma Raceway, and Matthews Motorsports driver Giovanni Rota took out the pole, car number 62. And he brought the field down very slowly. In fact, the field was fanning out a little bit, coming to the green, and we've got, they're bumping and beating and banging, and we got cars sideways. Kurt Reynolds, who started on the outside of the front row, dropped in line behind the 62, and Mike Humphreys is going to try something. Nope, he's off. He's into the sand. He's into the grass, rather. Looks like sand a little bit, but anyway. Humphreys in the 0. Drives for Alex Harrison. That team's been around a while. Let's see what happened. Going from the back forward as Ingrid Hadeland just moved over into Gabe Messina, turned Brad Dwyer around. Brad Dwyer can't be all that happy about it, as Hadeland looks like she's going to get a bit of karma here. She's going to get off quite badly. Nagata got a piece of that too. Dan Richards in the 07 leaves the door wide open, though, for the number 9 of Josh Marshall, and Marshall tries to go through, but I think Marshall forgot. You can't fit 3 cars through there, and just turned Richards, really. And they're running all over the place. A couple of cars off. Craig Janser goes off the left side of the track, and on the right side you may have seen Bill Calhoun in the Eagler car, as Richards in the 07 car, the only car in the field without any real any serious factory backing from a manufacturer participating in this category anyway. He's running back. He started 14th. Kurt Reynolds runs off the track from the lead. Rhoda has gone off and has gone backwards, back to 6th, and it looks like Hewitt is going to assume the lead with Sung going through. Actually, no, Rhoda's back in 5th position in the red car back there. Kurt Reynolds' road racing abilities have caught the attention of quite a few people in the TM Master Cup Series paddock. Won't be surprised if he makes his debut before the end of the year, but anything before Indianapolis, I think, a little questionable there. Han Young Sung in the 71 is doing his best to... Hewitt off and back on. James Hewitt pushing it a bit hard to get away from Han Young Sung and open a gap as quickly as he can. But the Korean... very, very much on form here at Sonoma, as we're now looking at Victor Kane in the 136 car, and he comes off right in front of Calhoun in the 69, and he goes through the grass, as Victor Kane is going to rejoin in that car. It's one of the 3 EV racing cars. Here's Calhoun in the 69. Had quite a Calhoun, of course, replaced the Carlos Cardona after Cardona was thrown out of the series, rightfully so, as Josh Marshall hits the tires and Dylan Buchanan piles right into the back of the 9 car as Takuma Nagata pits the 54. Hector Serrano in car number 1 is the points leader. He is running in 18th. He's been in the points every single race. He has that win at Beaver Run. His pace in practice has suggested that he might break that point streak. As Messina sideways and Brad Dwyer cleans out Hadeland and piles into this accident a little bit as well. Hadeland got turned by the 84, the car that she ended up turning on the initial start. Payback by Brad Dwyer, because the officials have been rather light on time penalties or anything of the sort in this cat. As Rodriguez shut the door on Calhoun too late. And I think Calhoun sticking his nose in maybe where it doesn't belong, perhaps, today. But either way, I don't think Rodriguez is going to see that as a racing incident, but I'm pretty sure Calhoun will. Anyways, Quackenbush, car number 34, running up and... he's getting hooked by Ross Carter. Carter made no effort to avoid that. In fact, looked like Carter made an effort to turn the 34 car as James Hewitt assumes the lead, and... Hewitt at least doesn't lose the lead at driving off into the dirt this time, but Reynolds is going to be all over him like a cheap suit, as the officials have been rather light on giving time penalties, and maybe this is where they might have to change their mind on it, but I think given the rather light stance they've had so far, it might be fair to give the competitors a bit of warning before they start dropping the hammer unnecessarily, as Reynolds maintains the lead, and it looks like he's beginning to pull away just a little bit. Richard Scott is running in 4th. This is another solid run from Scott, even though normally I don't think too many people have been impressed with some of his antics in practice, which normally involve what James Hewitt was just doing right there. Scott keeping it together when it matters, I see. Derain Ridman in the 68 car in the pocket machine holds the fastest lap of the race. Whoa! Wyatt Castle is sideways in that yellow 40 car in the background, but Ridman has the fastest lap of the race. Unfortunately, he's in 23rd. Ross Carter looks like he is going to be investigated after the race as he drives off the track again and lets Boreanaz and Luke Ocean go by. Ocean in that 134 car quietly having a good season. Two former champions here duel over 5th place as we have Troy Adams against Thurston Blood in the 16. Very measured drivers, both of them. That's why they have won the championship here. Adams ran in the Master Cup Series last year as James Hewitt. Hewitt went off the road. Scott stuck his nose in, and then Scott proceeded to turn Hewitt right around into the sand trap, and Scott has thrown it off as well. So Hewitt tried to rejoin. Scott didn't give him any space, and when Hewitt tried to take space he thought he was entitled to, Scott made no effort to let him back on. In fact, Scott made an effort to wreck him. And unfortunately for Scott, he ended up wrecking his own car, and it looks like he may have done more damage to his own car than he did to Hewitt's. Congratulations. Kurt Reynolds and Han Young Sung have begun to stretch somewhat of an advantage over the rest of the field. No one else really, I think, is going to be able to challenge these two on raw pace, but there are quite a few cars that have really dropped their their race pace down from their practice times, and it looks like they're saving fuel. Gerald Johnson in particular in car number 38. Mariano Zavala and Steve Holliday Jr. look like they're doing likewise. As we're now looking at Mariano Zavala, who's doing, well, he did a lot of that in practice, but this time he didn't do any damage to the car. He's been off a couple of times in practice. The 61 car for Matthews Motorsports, I don't think they're getting a little tired of fixing it from this weekend, as Reynolds, as you see, has pit the 88 from the lead. Thurston Blood in car number 16 has assumed the race lead because it looks like most of the immediate rivals to Reynolds pitted with him. As you see, Hewitt behind Thurston Blood, as Steve Holliday Jr. in the 18 car. Looks like he may have just pitted. Roughing up there with Chris Pagano, in the 135 EV racing ride. Johnson looks like he may have let Holliday Jr. by earlier. As we're now looking at Han Young Sung and the Gravity Racing team, and they are the poster children for how not to do a pit stop because they dropped him all the way down to 5th. Horrible pit stop there as Reynolds off the road again. Kurt Reynolds assumed the lead after that round of pit stops. Everyone has pitted except for this car right here, Troy Adams in car number 19. Actually, no, Adams has been in the pit lane, but he's been the biggest gainer from that round of pit stops as far as track position is concerned. Buffy Boreanaz, car 24, runs 4th. Pagano and Will Lewis in contention there, along with Giovanni Rhoda, as Rhoda tries to take a position away from Nagano. Not quite. Or Pagano, sorry. It's here we have Hector Serrano and Richard Scott, the two Roderick Motorsports Limited drivers, are battling for 35th place, and I don't think team owner Barry Roderick is going to be too impressed with that in the slightest. Barry Roderick, of course, the father of 4-time Master Cup champion Leonid Roderick, and the manager of this team. Here is Mark Blackwell in the Unit 11 car number 22. He's running back in 39th. He's a lap down. He let his teammate go by without a fight at all. But teammate of the year material here, he's up. Never mind, he was holding up. It looks like Johnson may have gone off, and looks like he was holding up Rhoda and company. And Kurt Reynolds, in the meanwhile, has pulled away from everyone else. But with the pace he's going, will he be able to make it on one stop? It doesn't look like it. He's lapping way too quickly to do that. Troy Adams is not going to do it. Pagano is not going to do it. Oh, whoa, the 38 of Johnson slaps the tire wall. Both of them have given up on one stopping the race, as has Reynolds, but Reynolds reacting to it a bit late in car number 88. And Ross Carter pits from the lead. He led a lap in the 15 car. Carter, he scraped the pit wall on pit entry, and Gerald Johnson has assumed the race lead. And his pace right now, leads me to believe He thinks he can make it, but he's going much slower than Reynolds was earlier, as a couple of cars sliding off. Thurston Blood looks like he thinks he can do it too. Friedrich Jaeger in the 73. That's a pass for position there. The 73 car, Gerald Johnson in the car number 38, looks like he's going to make it go, as Thurston Blood ran down Gerald Johnson, who's going significantly slower, but it looks like Johnson's going to make it last. Gerald Johnson stops his way to a victory. Thurston Blood also did a one-stop on his way to second, and Friedrich Jaeger did likewise to third. Good recovery drives from Richards, Ridman, Ocean, and Kerrigan. They all also only made this race on one stop. Reynolds in 8th was the first of the two stoppers. Troy Adams not too far behind him. Boreanaz, Messena, Nagano, Carter, Holiday Jr., all of the rest of them made 2 stops. Lynx Racing driver Claire Aussier in car number 11 rounded out the points finishers. Even though he didn't finish in the points, Hector Serrano still has the points lead, but Friedrich Jaeger jumped 6 positions in the championship. He is second now, sitting on 141 points. Buchanan, Ocean, Holiday Jr., all still legitimate contenders. In fact, I would argue to say that every single driver in the top 20 is still a legitimate contender for the TM Lights Championship. The next time we'll see the series in action will be up at Portland International Raceway, acting as a support act to the Champ Car race.